Hello everyone, Darren Gabbard here with 345 Auction. How are you? In our current auction, we have a lot of antiquities, but none more interesting to me than this particular one. It is, I would call this an ancient pot. It comes, or it's been attributed to the Mogollon culture sometime about 1,000 years ago, maybe 1,200 years ago. And it came from, or it was found very close to a place called Casas Grandes, which was a Mogollon settlement in northern Chihuahua, somewhere just south of the Arizona border. The Mogollon people lived probably 2,000, 2,200 years ago, all the way up to about the mid-16th century, and then they disappeared. Nobody knows where they went or why they disappeared. They certainly, for a time, rubbed shoulders with a lot of the other indigenous cultures in the Southwest. The Mogollon people typically tended to stay in the mountainous areas. Now this is a coil and scrape pot that is very typical of the time and pretty much typical for all indigenous tribes, even up until fairly recently. And the designs themselves here on the side of the pot are very typical of the Mogollon culture. This would be fairly early. The later Mogollon peoples had exceptionally detailed graphics. Now, this has been broken, certainly, and you can see a lot of cracks throughout, and I'm assuming that when it was originally discovered, it was in shards. And whoever did the conservation on this particular pot did an outstanding job. This is really well done. It feels fairly solid, in fact. Possibly one of the, other than, let's say, a fossil, this is probably one of the oldest things that I've ever held in my hand. And it is really interesting to think that I am holding something that someone made, 1,000 years ago or more. You can feel on the inside the finger impressions of the person who made the pot. This is coming up for auction. This is really an exquisite piece. It's coming up for auction on the 1st of December, which is a Sunday at 7 p.m. If you are a collector of Southwest pottery, I think that this would be something that you would love to have in your collection. Now you'll notice that right here there are 2 holes cut, and then on the far side there were 2 holes. So this was intended to be suspended off the floor, and I'm thinking perhaps maybe it was originally intended for water or something that you would want to keep off the floor. Just lovely. Here's the bottom. Coming up for auction on December 1st at 7 p.m. If you have never bid with 345 Auction before, you will need to register, and I will place a link in the video description below. You can see detailed pictures of, I've got absolutely every inch of this pot covered, detailed pictures as well as a description of the pot. I believe that this will be a well-attended auction. Collectors from around the country and possibly around the world will be bidding on this. So if you are interested in this particular pot, good luck.